Hello, and welcome into the Piles of Paragraphs creative space. I'm Lori, and today we're going to hopefully finish up the Scrappy cover journal that we started a few weeks ago. I've done a few things since you've seen this cover last. I decided I wanted to give it a little bit of an aged look. Not that there's anything wrong with this. I just thought I would see what it would look like. So I tried something different. Something new to me. I'm sure lots of other people have done it. I mixed some of the matte gel medium clear with some Tim Holtz Distress ink. Let's see. I used the vintage photo because I know it's not too dark. So I mixed like a tablespoon of the matte medium with a drop of the ink and mixed it up and painted it on. And I'm really kind of glad I didn't share that process with you because I decided to use a brush that I found in my office. It's one of those metal handled brushes. Oh my goodness, did I have lots of bristles coming out. It was a bit of a challenge. And then when I got done and I was trying to wipe it out, all of the bristles came out. So anyway, that that brush is done, and I've gotten myself a better brush to use going forward. Oh, and also today I wanted to say hello to my friend Marianne and tell her that I'm thinking of her, and I've made myself a note to speak up. So hopefully you'll be able to hear me better, and I won't get involved in what I'm doing and then start muttering. But please forgive me if I do. Like I've told you before, I'm so used to being home by myself that I'm used to speaking softly because the cats are not crazy about me speaking loudly. But I will work on projecting my voice. I've written down the time now that I've started the video. Let me set it somewhere so I can actually see it, so I can see how long I'm keeping you. Anyway, back to the project at hand. So I also added a few more things to the journal cover since last time we were here. A couple more pens. I found some Tim Holtz ephemera that I had from, I don't know, it's probably 20 years old. That was in a pad. It had a couple of butterflies or moths, I'm not sure which one. I also had this very cool little label for a fountain pen, which I thought was really appropriate. I wanted to add a couple of words, so I've added Discover and Wish. We'll say, hello, Bunty. Sorry, bud. Okay, Bunty has come to sit in the window. He doesn't usually come up, so I'm surprised to see him. Sorry about that crash. They jump up in the window right next to where my chair is, and if I don't know they're here, I don't give them the little bit of extra space that makes it easier for them to jump up. So, okay, once again, back to the project. I also added a ruler, also from that same ephemera pack. I have these file stickers that I think they maybe were used in a medical office or legal offices back in the days when all the papers were, all the files were paper. There we go. I'll speak up and I'll speak slowly so I don't get all twisted with my words. See, I'm just so excited to share this project with you that I'm talking 100 miles a minute. Okay, I think those are all the things that I added. So I did the coat of the matte medium with the ink mixed in with it, and then I decided I wanted to add one more coat since the Baji brush didn't do the world's best job. So I went back and I added just a plain coat of the matte gel medium over the top of everything, and I also coated the inside. So the cover's ready to use now, I think. You could also add some corners to it, which I thought about doing, but I don't know where I've put my corners. I haven't made any self-cover journals, soft-ish color journals for a while, so I'm not sure where I put it. Those. So we'll do this one for now without it, but I can always go back, I think later probably, and add corners to it if I decide I need them, since I'll be using this journal myself. Okay, and also along with our Scrappy journal cover, I decided I would do kind of the junk mail theme, or in my case, you know, just like various and sundry papers and packages and stuff that I have collected that would normally end up in the trash or in our recycle bin. So I have this piece of paper that's, I'm not sure where it came from, probably like they wrap bread in. I've used old billing statements from some of our bills. Oh, hi, Devin. Oh, gonna come. Oh, okay. Sorry. Devin wants to come by and say hello. Okay, Deavy. Okay, you're gonna walk through and smell everything. Okay, I had to do the video now, sweetie. So come on, let's go. Can you get down? Get down for me, please. Okay, come on down. Come on down. Okay, I'll scoot over. Come on, hop down on the chair. Time to go, bear. Okay, bye-bye, my sweetie. Go ahead. Time to go. It's okay. Yeah, you got space. All right. All right, darling. Thanks for coming to check in. My husband said she would. He said, oh, Devin will be in to check on you. Oh, and now Sid's here. Hi, Sid. Did you get up in your spot? Oh, popular with the kitties this morning. Yeah, that's because I'm speaking loudly. They can hear me. Yeah, they can always hear me. Anyway, back to what I was saying. These are old, I think they're from my American Express charge card. And I just am fascinated with the fact that they printed probably their logo. It's very faint. I'm not even sure anymore what it is, but I'm quite obsessed with this paper, so I've been saving it for a while. This is a page out of a calendar. I told you my sister, bless her, gets dozens and dozens of calendars. Okay, Bunt, go ahead. You can go behind me, buddy. You can jump on my chair. It's okay. There you go, sweetheart. Okay. Now Bunty's going. Okay, Sid's going. All right, there we go. This is a piece that just came in the mail. On some of these, because it had a lot of text on it, I glued 2 sheets together and made pockets. So this is the kind of stuff. Some of them I left. Another calendar page, a different bill, bags from Einstein's Bagels, which were my husband's and mine favorite breakfast treat during the time when we were all locked in. I call it the Great Lockdown. So I ate entirely too many bagels, and so now I'm not really doing carbs anymore. But that's a story for another day. Some statement from the New York Public Library. You know, just this kind of stuff. Another calendar page for a little art. And I know these are in upside down. When I use it, I'll go back and either glue something over the top of it, or just, you know, if I want to make notes, the grid pattern is fine. I can just ignore the upside down numbers. I told you I saved lots of those pages from my American Express bills. They went back many, many years. Our local public radio, big supporters of that. And for the center is another calendar page. So we've got this. I also have also one of my former favorite treats, these Hershey's milk chocolate drops, and I just thought this was kind of a fun, pardon the crinkling sound, I kind of like the crinkling sound. I thought these would be great pockets to stick stuff in, and they have the zip. So I folded them up, and I tried with my Never Fail Me art glitter glue to glue them together. Art glitter glue failed me. So I grabbed some of the tape that I use when I'm binding books in the hardcover and stuck it down, which also had the added benefit of covering up all the calorie information. So I figured that was kind of a win-win. So this is what I've got for our for my journal signatures. Let's see, where do I want to put Hershey? I want it first. Let's see. Let's go. I also staggered the pages up and down, just because I think that's kind of a fun thing to do. Not at all necessary, you know, just since, especially since those American Express bills weren't quite tall enough to fill in the whole height of the journal cover. I staggered the pages. So you see, we've got things kind of sticking out here. That doesn't bother me. I often put a piece of lace or something over the edge when I make my journals, because I tend to make them so that the pages aren't flush on the inside. You can always go back and trim them. I'm not going to do it in this particular case. So those are the two things. Is there anything else I wanted to add? I've got some other bags and stuff, but I think, oh, I've counted how many pages were in it. I think it is, let's see, what I wrote it down. It's about 56 pages, 60 pages. That includes the pockets and this kind of thing too. So that's pretty good. You know, 120 sides of stuff there. So I could add some other things. Also add some pockets to the front and back cover, which I normally do. I just couldn't think of anything I wanted to add. So I may come back and just do, you know, I have a tuck spot pocket because I really like to have tuck spots for my things. Let me see. Make sure I'm not completely off. Oh, I've been over too far. Sorry for that. Every time I set up my desk, I seem to be in a different space. So, I should have brought my book weight up, and I didn't. So I think what we'll do now is I'll show you how I stitch the signatures in. I do a combination of stuff that I've learned, well, from many people, but primarily from Gail Augustinelli, from her YouTube channel. You know, if you've been watching me for a while, Gail is my friend, and she's also the guru that got me into making journals, and I won't say give purpose to my life, but well, kind of. Great deal of joy. She brings me a great deal of joy in my life, and I'm always, always grateful for Gail. Rachel also. I've been having so much fun watching her with her family since she's home visiting in Australia and doing that really cool Flora Woods stitchery class, which is just so fascinating. You were talking about doing that again next year, and in their videos this morning, and plus my husband, he came down to get his lunch ready and get ready to leave for work, and I said, "Ooh, I'm trying to figure out how I can get to Australia next year and visit the Green Door Studios and take Flora's class." And you know, my husband, you know, it's before 6 o'clock in the morning, bless him, and here I am yammering on because I've been up for an hour, and he has too, but he is not a morning person. And so he said, "Well, you get on an airplane. That's how you get to Australia. You get on an airplane." I'm like, "Okay, honey, thank you. That was really helpful." Okay, back to the task at hand here. I do, I think I said the 3-hole pamphlet stitch. Well, thankfully I've said that right. I've tried to tell people that several times the last couple of weeks, and every time I do, I mess it up. But I do 3, there's probably slightly more than 3 lengths of my journal when I cut my my waxed thread. I know Rachel's really good, and she doesn't cut hers. I'm not so good. The confidence is not as much as hers is, so I kind of cut it. Let's see if I can actually thread the right end of the needle. And I'm just using, it's a blunt needle. I'm not sure if this came in, I bought a couple of bookbinding kits from Amazon, but I've also picked up, every time I see them anywhere, any kind of needles I think I might use. At my favorite local charity shop, they have them sometimes, and so I'm not sure where that one came from, but it's kind of a chunky needle, so it's easy for me to thread, or easy-ish for me to thread. And which boy, do I struggle with. Okay, so I'm going to put our pages inside the journal cover. In this case, because it's a soft-ish journal cover, I should be able to do my signatures and my cover at the same time, although this is pretty thick, so I may regret that decision, but I think I can do it. I'm feeling strong this morning. Okay, we've got our stuff in there. Got this pushed down. I just want to push down to the center, and then I'm just going to eyeball it. You can also measure and be precise. You know, precision is not one of my superpowers. I have some talents. Being precise is not one of them. I use an old telephone book to poke my holes for any of my signatures and my journal covers, especially if it's a single signature journal cover. So I just kind of aim for the center. Oh, and this isn't all that I'm using. When I started, I used an ice pick because that was what I had. And I'll try to push it through to the thicker part of the awl because my needle is pretty chunky. Pull it back through. And then since I have my pages staggered, I'll probably go a little more than an inch, maybe an inch and an eighth, inch and a quarter in. Just go down a little bit so that you make sure you catch all the tops of your pages. You don't want any, I prefer not to have anything hanging loose. I've had that in the past. It bugs me. Okay, poke that through. Yeah, it seems pretty straight-ish. Once again, this is an ish journal, so, there are others that do really precision things. Sea Lemon is an awesome person to watch if you want to learn about bookbinding in a more precise way than what I do. Of course, Nick the Booksmith is, Nick is awesome. She has some older videos on bookbinding that are just amazing. I imagine she's been doing other cool things lately. Ooh, gosh. Yep, did I overestimate my strength? Let's see. Push this through. Oh, I don't think I told you. I use these large paper clips because it gives me a little bit of wiggle room. You can also use bulldog clips. When I first started, I tried using clothespins. Those don't work quite as well. It's okay if you've got a pretty small signature and a lightweight journal cover. They hold okay, but they tend to snap off because they're, they just have that little bit of area to grab. Okay, so the phone book has done its job for now. I generally like to start in the center and go out because I like to do, sometimes I like to do charms or stuff like that. And I always leave my tails hanging. I like them to be inside the book rather than on the outside, but you can do either one. So I go out through the center hole and pull the string through. And then I usually take one end and hook it under the paper clip, just because I tend to get a little aggressive sometimes. Hi, City. Sid is back. Oh, I did these kind of crooked. Okay. We go back up through the top. We can go top or bottom. And I've gotten myself out of alignment here, so let me go back through again and see if I can realign the hole and hang on to it. Sometimes the wiggling is not a good thing. There we go. We go back up through and pull it tight. See, not so aggressively tight that you pull that out of your paper clip there. And then I go back down and I go out the bottom. Keeping everything nice and snug. Nice and snug here. Okay, now this is always the trickiest one because you're going to go back through the center hole and you've already got part of your thread there. So you want to make sure when you go back through the hole, and that's when using a blunt needle is very, very helpful. You're really careful not to split the thread that's already in there, because if you go back through the thread again, you cannot tighten it and you will have a really wiggly signature, and it's really frustrating. Okay, this is not wanting to go back through. Okay, let me try this again. I don't usually bind books sitting at in this space, so My angle is a bit different. The table I use usually is down a little lower, so I have a little bit different view vantage point. Oh, there we go. I'm going off to the side and not back through the hole. Let's see. Sometimes this goes really easy, and sometimes not. Of course, this is the first time I have found a journal on video, so I hope you will give me the grace to say, well, you know, first time, learning, always learning curve. Oh, goodness, the birds outside are singing. Let's see. Oh golly. Okay, guys. Well, I promise you it's not usually this hard, but once again, my angle is different, and I haven't done a soft. Oh gosh. All right. Okay, guys. I'm gonna put the all back through. Boy, I've really wiggled out of space, out of alignment now. Maybe I should have used the bulldog clips again. Oh gosh, I haven't had this much trouble in forever. Let's see. Where, oh where? Okay, so we got that there. And I'm going to bring this over to me, guys. Sorry, you're going to be off camera here for a second because, you know, at this point I gotta get it to where I can see it well. Hopefully go right back through. Okay, got it through. Draw it up. Draw the tail up. I'll go back under, because what you want to have is you want to have your two ends on opposite side of your thread going through the center. Take my needle out, put my awl away, since you never know when there might be a fly-by catting, you know. So, you know, always so efficient, and put my little tube that I keep my needle in away as soon as I'm done getting the needle out. And I shouldn't do that. Okay. All right, these guys go back in my bookbinding kit. I'm going to pull these paper clips off. Give my journal a good tug. I usually come back and look at the outside to make sure this is pretty tightly stitched. Then I do a single knot, and then I do another single knot, and then in this case I'm going to tie a bow just to finish it. And here we go. So there's the Scrappy journal cover, and it's very full, so it'll need a little working through to make it stay shut. You could also do a closure. I don't think I'll put a closure on this one. I might. If I do, I promise I'll come back and show it to you, but for now I'm not gonna tie it shut or add a closure. It would be fun to put a Scrappy closure on here. I will put my thinking cap on it, that one there. Rachel goes through and kind of works her pages down, and that helps with yeah, tape works great. No calories in those now. I got that one a little bit crooked. Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, sorry guys. Everything is starting to bloom. And I have been doing more than a little sneezing and coughing. Try to burnish that down a little bit. The images in this calendar were so pretty, all these pretty birds. It drives my sister crazy. She gets all these calendars, but I bring a box home with me. I have lots of stuff to have fun with. The Einstein's bagel bags, my art glitter glue worked perfectly. I didn't have any trouble with that, getting that to make a a hinge there. Let's see. Okay. Settle on it. So here we go. There's the Scrappy journal put together. It really does feel nice, and it will stay down over time. Since this one I have used so much junk mail and scraps for, I wanted to show you that this particular approach works well for other things too. This is a very, very basic one that I did when I first started journal making 3-4 years ago. And it's just a manila envelope that I took one of my digitals and just glued it onto the front because I really liked this particular image. This one really has a great hand to it. I used one of those brushes with the rough bristles, so it has a lot of texture in the matte medium. Pocket I made out of calendar page. It's just kind of a fun little book that I, jot ideas down in and put bits and pieces in. It started when I went to Gail's retreat for the first retreat. I think this went with me. So for my idea book, there's another journal that I made that is a more proper journal. I call it my collector of memories journals. This one is for sale in my Etsy shop, Piles of Paragraphs. If you happen to be interested, I put it in, I take it out, I think I'm going to give it away, and then I don't, and some kind of attached to it, but I would love for it to find its person and bring somebody joy. This is a very cool cover. I think I loved it. It's probably one of my favorite covers I've ever done. I did the technique with the book page. Then I took some of the background paper for the digital that I used for this particular journal and added that. And then I put some coffee coloring on it. Hi, Dev. Are you gonna zoom back through? All right. Bye, sweetheart. Someday you're gonna have to come show everybody your pretty face and not just your backside. But and then I glued some scrappy papers, library card, some Tim Holtz ephemera, this cool frame, and then I did do the metal corners on this one. This one has a great feel, and this one is a 3 signature journal, so it's chunky for sure. But the base of the journal again was the Amazon packaging. I did fabric for my pockets. I don't always do that. I think Juanette from Juanette's Crafting Corner, she was my table mate for the first retreat, and she suggested I do that, so I gave that a try, and I like it. I love the fabric. I think it's cool. Love this digital that I used for this one. But anyway, as you can see, this one has tons of stuff in it, and so the cover holds up really well. To even adding more stuff in, and there's vintage papers in here and new paper and lots of pockets and lots of coffee dyed paper. It smells so good. Just little bits and bops. There's a complete flip through of this journal if you're interested in seeing the rest of the stuff that's in it. Did a lot of belly bands and tuck stuff in, and just kind of fun things. I just wanted to let you know. I think I said, and when Deavy came by and I got distracted, I used the, oh gosh, and her name just went right out of my head. Lady sells this cool stuff that you paint on that does coffee staining for you, and it really, I think it worked great on this. It really gave a great grunge. I also did some stamping on this one. So anyway, there's another idea for you, but you could do a more proper journal. Doesn't have to be grungy. Can also just be pretty. I've done a couple of them that way too that I didn't grunge up so much. I do like the grunge myself, so I always I describe my style as kind of grunge pretty, because I love to use pretty things, but I do like to have a bit of grunge to go along with them. So there's this. I think that was all I was going to tell you about it in this episode. And so we're done now with our Scrappy journal cover made from an Amazon envelope. Like I said, if I do come back and add a closure to it, I will let you know. But I think for now, this is it. So we've got this project done. So I hope you'll give it a try. It really is. I think it's a lot of fun, and I love to upcycle stuff that sits around and otherwise end up in the trash or in the recycle bin. So nothing makes me happier than to make something out of nothing. My sister and I were talking about that the other day. I think that comes from my grandmother's and my mother's upbringing. That's what crafting always was to me as a kid. Is you back in the day, make something out of the milk cartons, the milk jugs that we used to have, and you'd recycle bleach containers, which probably wasn't the best thing, but you could always make something with it, and I always thought it was really fun. So thank you for joining me on this project, for making something out of virtually nothing. We'll go with that. I hope you'll join me again, and I'll say bye for now.